those of you who are not here. That is people ask me, I've done this one before, but for the one person here who hasn't heard of it, and these ladies haven't heard of it. I am in sports. I've been in sports for about 30 years, and people come up to me and say, well, what are you doing this for? I go, well, in sports, I deal with athletes, okay? Not the nicest of people most of the time. Here I am, between Dawn Wells, Jerry Rochelle, and I'm the thorn between two roses. Do I have to go any further and explain why? Am I right? Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island. With apologies, she still looks like she can entice men onto Gilligan's Island. It was meant to death. And she bills herself as the fake Jan Brady. But let me tell you something, after talking to Jerry Rochelle, there's nothing about her that's fake. She is as real as they come. Jerry Rochelle. I'm going to do something that I normally don't do, but because the situations and the background are so similar, I'm going to ask pretty much the same questions to each of our ladies. So I'll start with you, Dawn. You got the role of Mary Ann. You weren't in the original pilot of Gilligan's Island. I believe a lady named Nancy McConnell played another character with a different name, but somehow you got the part. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a little different than that. There was a pilot that was made in November with 3 school teachers, basically. I don't know, John Gabriel was the professor. I don't know the 2 girls' names. And I auditioned sometime in March. When CBS said, we're going to buy the pilot, when we have a time slot for it, they said it's kind of boring, these 3 characters, not the actors, but can we do something a little more interesting? So I understand that Sherwood Schwartz's brother, Elroy, created Ginger, Mary Ann, and the professor. So they auditioned in both New York and Los Angeles for those 3 characters. I auditioned on a Monday through a Thursday. They try to match you up, you know, the chemistry between all of you, with all kinds of people auditioning for it, and they were doing the same thing on the East Coast. The reason it was then the rest, when we got cast, was, well, first of all, they told me every day it was my part, it was my part. You don't sign a contract, nothing's signed, and that's all just crazy until you put your name on the title line, right? And Thursday afternoon, Raquel Welch walked in to audition. I went, well, that's the end of that. Too bad. Of course, she would have been better too. But she hadn't even done that BC thing with the fur bathing suit yet. But actually, I was lucky enough to have gotten the role, and Russell Johnson, the professor, got the role in Los Angeles as well. But Ginger was cast in New York. Tina Louise got cast in New York, and her agent said she is to be in 5th position billing, which means after the credits, after the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, nobody could be after her. So when Russell and I signed the contracts, our agents could do nothing else but me and the rest. So the first year we ran the rest until the second year when they changed the contract. So I auditioned really in Los Angeles. That's how we got it. It was very different. We didn't come in and audition with the original girls at all.
And in your situation, Jerry, it's a lot different because the Brady Bunch was an established television show. It had done very well in the ratings. It was very popular. It made stars out of a lot of people, and you wound up having to replace Eve Plum in the role as Jan. Talk about how that came about, because that had to be not only an interesting situation, but I would think one with a lot of trepidation, establishing and replacing an established character.
Well, let's see. When I started doing this, the audition started with my mom getting a call saying they needed to replace a girl on the Brady Bunch. And I'm thinking, why in the world would you replace a Brady? You know, they're so well established. And to be honest with you, I never really watched the show. Shame on me, but I never really watched the show because I started acting when I was 6. So basically, I was doing my own work while they were doing their shows. I was doing guest appearances on different television shows. And so they said, well, you need to sing and dance. And I love singing and dancing. And I said, okay. And I have the long blonde Hilton, Paris Hilton's mom. So, I can say that, I got the part over her, but I don't know, maybe it's because I could sing better and dance, I don't know. But they chose me. I was very happy. I wasn't worried at all about starting work with them. I worked with Susan Olsen before on commercials with Mattel Toys, and they welcomed me with open arms, and they seemed to really like me. Robert Reed, after the first couple of weeks, told me that he felt like I had been part of the family the whole time. So that made me feel a lot more relaxed. And Susan was actually glad that I had never watched the Brady Bunch. So she says it wouldn't be like I was trying to act like how the original Jan was, that I put my own spin on the part, and it gave me my own uniqueness. So, she was actually happy that I hadn't watched her show before. So I thought, oh, good. So, yeah, we started working. I found out at high school, actually. I was called into the counselor's office because, Jerry, you better start going to your classes and getting your schoolwork, because I was a junior in high school. And I said, why? She goes, because you've got the part of Jan Brady, and tomorrow you start work. I said, oh my gosh. I started jumping up and down, so I had to go to all my teachers, get my schoolwork. And the very next day, I started learning my dance steps and the lines and the songs, and we'd go to the studio and record our songs and learn the dance steps. And then every song that you'd see on the Brady Bunch Hour, we lip synced, because it was pre-recorded. So we had to get really used to matching, the mouth and the words good together. So I think we did pretty good. Even Robert Reed, he did all right. Even though he had 2 left feet, I think he did a darn good job.
And none of the singing was dubbed. Everyone did their own singing.
Yes, even if they couldn't sing, they still did it. Chris and Susan and Mike really didn't care for the singing too much. Now, Barry, he's the biggest ham in the world, and he belted out his songs great. He was a real showman, sometimes acted like Elvis. I mean, he was all into it, those jumpsuits that we would wear. The boys wear those tight jumpsuits. I don't know how they hid what in them, but I mean, they were really tight, but they managed to take care of that. And Maureen had a very beautiful voice. She could sing really good. And of course, Florence has a wonderful voice. And Bob could carry a tune. So, we always gave him the benefit of the doubt. But he had, I think, almost the most fun doing the show because he'd been a Shakespeare actor and, doing serious acting most of his life. So he got to let loose and wear Carmen Miranda outfit with sagging boobs down to the waist and a fruit hat. So we dressed. I was a chicken one time, so we had some pretty bizarre outfits. If you remember the show at all.
I just want to say a little bit of something. It's kind of funny how everything falls into place. Actually, before we even tested, they called me, and I had come to Hollywood and done a lot of the Warner Brothers stuff, the 77 Sunset Strip, and Maverick, and Cheyenne, and all of that. And I got a call to audition for a show that was sold. Gilligan's Island had a time spot, which is unusual. And I went and met Mr. Schwartz at the 20th Century Fox lot, and we had a wonderful conversation, and I read, and he thought it was wonderful. So he said, we're going to test first. We're going to test. So they called back in a couple of weeks, and they said, we'd like to see you again. So I went in and visited with Sherwood about costumes and wardrobe and everything. And they called my agent, and he said, I don't think we're going to test her this time, this go-around, because she's too smart to play Mary Ann. My agent said, excuse me, she's an actress. She can act dumb if you want her to act dumb. Duh. Because we're both have sense of humor, and I was kind of quipping with him, and I guess he thought that was not appropriate or something. So my agent said, well, then we'll test her next time around. And he said, you either test her now or you don't test her at all. I was so new in the business that would really scare me to death now, thinking, oh my gosh. He said, test her now or that's it. So they tested me. So, I mean, it is kind of luck. It's also power play a little bit somehow. And the actress never knows what's going on. It's the agents that do all that stuff. So.
You were in a very unique situation